All right, you guys. Matt Smith here with Elder Care Real Estate, Avalon 24 here in Post Falls, and I have a huge success story that I want to share with you. A few months ago, I had a deal where a woman had called me. She found me on Google, and her home was in foreclosure. Her husband had died, and they were unable to make the payments. The home went into foreclosure, and as they were trying to save the home, they were unable to do so, and the auction date was set. I had 10 business hours to figure this out. So I went into action. I said, what does the bank need? What do we got to do to make this thing, go away so we can save the home, put it on the market, do whatever. The decision at that time was to sell the home, but we had to get it off the auction block. So I got on the phone with my client and the bank. They gave me a list of items that they needed, and I procured those items. They needed a qualified buyer. They needed a purchase and sale agreement under contract, and they needed a letter of intent from the seller saying they do intend on selling the home, not keeping it. Well, I got all that stuff together, sent it to the bank. The bank got back to me and said, you don't have a wet signature on the letter of intent, so we are going to go ahead and sell the home. And I was just kind of blown away. Very small detail, but that's what they wanted. They wanted a live signature, not just in an email. So we went to the auction just to see what was going to happen, and the house was sold. It was gone. The bank took it back. I looked at my client and I said, this isn't over. Sit tight. I'm going to go home. I'm going to see what we can do about this. So that's exactly what I did. I came home. I wrote a very heartfelt letter to the bank explaining that we had given them everything they needed, but we did not have the wet signature. And in order to get this through to the right department, it was fax only. There was nobody you could call. There was nobody you could email. So I had to send a fax. And that's like sending something into the void, Anyway, within 2 hours, the bank had acted. And they did it with a lot of compassion. It was Wells Fargo. They said, we've rescinded the sale. I was like, wow, this is amazing. Now, what that means is that it's out of foreclosure and it goes back to the mortgage holder. But the foreclosure process clock starts ticking. Again, you have 180 days to either bring the payments current or to get the house sold to pay the bank off. So that was our situation. So I let my buyer know. I said, hey, they're now in a situation where they can save the home or we can push the contract through. The family decided they want to try to save the home. They're going to try to bring the payments up, get it out of foreclosure on their own. So that's where I left it. So now this family is in a situation where they can bring their payments current and they can actually save their family home. And this meant the world to me. It was a 1 in 1,000 chance. That's what the bank attorney told me. Because once the sale was rescinded, I called the attorney and was like, really? She's like, yep, we're going to start over. They got, I think it was 180 days. And their attorney told me that it happens maybe once a year, once every 2 years, that the bank will actually rescind a sale. But it was pure communication, going through the proper channels, not losing your cool, and navigating the system that is in place. And that's what I do best. So if you have any type of real estate transaction that you're dealing with that seems impossible, that you think the odds are stacked against you, call me. Let me know. But if you have any real estate deal at all, if you're just downsizing, if you're trying to upsize, if you're trying to relocate, if you're trying to sell, if you're trying to buy, whatever your situation is, there's always a way to make things happen. Anyway, my name's Matt Smith, Elder Care Real Estate at Avalon 24. Everybody have a great day.